Hello and great morning. Let me make sure this camera is working. Hello and great morning. Let me make sure this camera is working. Hello and great morning. Let me make sure this camera is working. Hello and great morning. Let me make sure this camera is working. Hello, everybody. Give me just 30 seconds. There we go. Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing today? I hope you are absolutely amazing on this beautiful, beautiful day. Today is the day that the Lord has made. We are absolutely going to rejoice and be glad in it. So, welcome in. Come on in the room. I'm so happy to see you and to be with you on today. If you're wondering, like, who is this lady? You're joining us. Maybe you got a notification to hop on in. I am Tavia Jax, and I'm the CEO of Pop Stars Popcorn, as well as of Tavia Jax Enterprises. And I'm a powerful transformational life coach. Good morning, Sonia. Thank you for joining us this morning. As well as an entrepreneur, I coach coaches, consultants, CEOs, and founders to absolutely create the life and income that they would love and of their dreams. So come on in the room, and I would love for you to drop your good morning in the chat. So drop your good morning in the chat. I would love to see you. Good morning, Marcia. I hope you are doing absolutely amazing on this beautiful, beautiful day. So if you may have seen the email, you may have seen a Facebook notification. So today we are literally just a few days short of the half of the year. My question is, have you ever been driving somewhere and realized that you missed your exit? I know I have. Not because you didn't know where you were going, not because you didn't have directions. Maybe you just wasn't paying attention for that quick moment and you may have just lost focus, like, oh, I was thinking about this, or I was having a conversation with myself or with somebody else, like so many little different things that happen. Now it wasn't because you didn't have a destination that you were going to, right? Maybe you simply got distracted. Maybe you were talking, maybe you were tired. Any of those things happen to anybody. And maybe you were just thinking about something else. And before you knew it, you passed the turn you needed to take. And here's what's interesting. Good morning, Mama Harris. Good morning, Sharon. Here's what's interesting. Before you know it, you pass the turn you need to take. Now, here's what's interesting. When that happens, your GPS, it doesn't shame you. It doesn't say, well, since you missed the exit, you might as well give up and go home, right? That doesn't happen. It doesn't say you're a failure. It simply says recalculating, or whatever voice that or whatever voice you have on your GPS. Okay, within seconds, it's going to create a new path to get you to the new destination. And I think a lot of people need to hear that today. Good morning on TikTok. A lot of people need to hear that today. So, TikTok is just joining us. So, what I learned is, have you ever been driving somewhere and you realize you missed your exit? And not because you weren't going, not because you didn't have directions. I've even had the GPS on and still passed my exit, right? So somebody said I passed the exit looking at it. And guess what? It often happens because we got distracted. Our mind could have just be thinking about something and it unfocuses from the exit or from whatever we're doing or wherever we're going. Maybe we were talking or tired, and before we know it, we passed the turn that we needed to take. And what I was just saying was the GPS doesn't shame you. It doesn't say you missed your exit, go ahead and turn around and go home. It simply says recalculating, or if you have yours in the English voice, or whatever voice you have. And I think a lot of people should hear that today. So we're almost halfway through 2026. And some people started the year with goals, with dreams, with things they promised ourselves that we would do. And somewhere along the way, life happened. Distractions may have happened. Challenges may have happened. Unexpected circumstances may have happened. And because you missed an exit doesn't mean that you've missed your destiny. Drop a 1 in the chat if you resonate with this. Drop a 1 in the chat on TikTok, on YouTube. You could still drop your 1 in the chat on Facebook. You could drop your 1 in the chat. Okay? Good morning, everybody. So distractions happen, challenges happen, unexpected circumstances happen, but just because you missed the exit doesn't mean you missed your destiny, and it's not time to quit. This is the time to recalculate. The second half of 2026 can be absolutely extraordinary for you. So this morning, I want to help everybody continue to focus or hit the reset and position yourself to finish this year stronger than you started the year. Do you know the statistics show that the most points in a football game happen in the last 2 minutes? More points than the rest of the game happen in the last 2 minutes of the football game. Do you know in sales and retail, it shows that 20 to 40% of the entire year's income comes in the last 45 days of the year? The last 45 days of the year, Michelle, they're making 20 to 40% of their income. That is literally almost the majority of what's happening in 45 days. It's 365 days, but in 45 days, they make 20 to 40% of the income for the entire year. The last 45 days. So let me ask you a question. If nothing changes between right now and December 31st, how would you feel about your results for the end of the year? Would you be thrilled? Because a lot of people, you don't need a brand new year. You just need a reset. And today I'm going to give you 4 tools that can change the trajectory of your next 6 months. Okay, so the very first tool is to assess your current reality. You have to write the vision, make it plain. Go back to what goals you wrote down for January, or maybe you wrote yours in December. Maybe you wrote yours last November. I started writing my goals last November for 2026. Okay, Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision and make it plain. You cannot improve what you refuse to measure. Right, Mike? Right, Tesla? Right, Juan? Right, Marie? You cannot improve, Mia, what you refuse to measure. Peter Drucker said it like this: what gets measured gets managed. What gets measured gets managed. So, of course, this isn't about shame. This is about awareness. Iyanla Vanzant said that awareness is the first step of transformation. Awareness is the first step of transformation. So my question is, how is it going? In January, when you thought about your goals, maybe you wrote your goals out, what did you say? What did you want spiritually? Did you want to spend more time with God? Did you want to read your word more? And where are you right now? Let's just take an assessment. What did you want financially? Thank you, Marcia. What did you want financially? Did you have an income goal, a savings goal, things you wanted to pay off? How are you doing right now when you measure? Where are you at right now? Think about it. What about your health? Did you have a health goal? And where are you at right now with that health goal? Relationships. In your business, where are you at with your business goal? The things you said you wanted to do. Maybe there were new things you said you wanted to implement. Are you implementing them? Are you still going full speed? How's it going? Where are we at? Because the first step towards transformation is awareness. Okay. Number 2, celebrate wins and shift what is not working. So a lot of people focus on what they haven't done. High performers look for evidence of progress first. Okay, so first, I want you to celebrate. What did you do in these last 6 months? What are you proud of that you have done towards your goals these last 6 months or five-ish months? What have you done since January that you can say, I did do this and celebrate yourself? I did do this and celebrate you. I see you on Facebook. Drop a 2 in the chat if you're willing to say one thing to celebrate yourself. Just put a 2 in the chat. Just put a 2 and just say it in your own atmosphere. I am proud of myself for hiring that person. I'm proud of myself for my Bible streak. I'm proud of myself for associating with certain people. I'm proud of myself for speaking up more. I'm proud of myself for being disciplined. I'm proud of myself for stepping out on faith. I'm proud of myself for the investments I made. Winston Churchill said, success is not final. Failure is not final. It is the courage that continues to count. Your courage continues to count. Celebrate your wins, celebrate your progress, celebrate your lesson learned. And like I tell my coaching clients, write them down. I tell my clients, I want you to keep the whole first section of your notebook and be writing your wins. Every mindset shift, every opportunity, every time you get money, somebody pays for something, you get a rebate, bonuses. It could be 1 cent. Write it down, and we're celebrating it. Okay? So, what have you done towards your goal so far? And then I want you to ask yourself, what needs to shift, Eddie? Sunshine, what needs to shift? Quay, what needs to shift? Maybe it's your habits. Maybe it's your focus. Maybe it's your calendar, your consistency. Maybe it's your accountability. So here's the truth. You don't need a completely different life. Sometimes you just may require a different strategy. So I'm going to give you my BOLD framework really quick. BOLD is an acronym. B is have boundaries. You got to have boundaries with your time, your energy, your resources. Good morning, Courtney. O is optimize your calendar. Where can you combine things? How can you optimize your calendar? Oh, I'm having 3 meetings with people about the same things. Can I do the meetings together? What can you do to optimize your calendar? What about L? Leverage your assets. Okay, you have 3 different systems that you're paying for that you could probably use one of those systems for, right? Good morning, good morning, good morning. How can we leverage our assets? And the last one is D, decide. Good morning, Maya. To decide, that means to cut away the other things. So when you're making a decision, Frederica, we're going to cut away the things that don't support the decision. We have to cut it away. So decide is where a lot of people get stuck, because once you decide, you really decide, the path starts to clear. Tool number 3 is create a 212-degree mindset. This right here is everything. And welcome, everybody. Thank y'all for joining me at the new time today, 7 a.m. I love to see it. We have even more people here. So I'm so glad that you guys are popping in, and even our people that were joining at 6:30. I'm so glad that y'all shifted with us. So thank you for joining us today at 7 a.m. So y'all, water is hot at 211 degrees, but at 212 degrees is when the water starts to boil. 1 extra degree creates the steam, creates that rumble, and steam powers locomotives. Come on, so 1 other extra degree from 211 to 212 can power a city, can power a locomotive. 1 degree changes everything. Darren Hardy said, commitment is doing the thing that you said you were going to do long after the mood has left you. So let me ask you, are you interested or are you committed? Because there are a lot of people that are interested in success. There are a lot of people that are interested in going to the next level. But there are a smaller amount of people that are committed. And interested looks like I put the water on the pot. And interested looks like I may have turned it on low. And interested looks like I may have possibly mentioned it a little bit. But committed means I am willing to go all in. I am willing to turn it up all the way to 212 degrees. I am willing to make the sacrifices, to make the commitment, to do something I've never done, to get a result that I've never had. So my question is, are you interested or are you committed? Are you interested in your goal for 2026? Was it cool? Was it just fun because somebody said, write a goal? Or are you committed? It doesn't matter what it looks like right now. We just talked about it at the very beginning of this live. We know that even in football, In the last 2 minutes of the game, the statistics show more points are created in the last 2 minutes of an entire game than the rest of the time in the game. We also know that in retail, the last 45 days of the year creates 20 to 40% of the goal of the income that that company is creating for the year. So you don't have to be discouraged. You're in a better place than you've ever been because whatever has happened up until now has prepared you for this second half of the year. But my question is, are you interested or are you committed? Well, you don't have to be discouraged. Amazing things can happen in this next 6 months. You don't have to feel like far from your goal. Many people create the majority of their goal in the second half of the year and some even in the last quarter. So I want you to know that I believe in you and it is time to turn it up. It is time to shift to your 212 degrees. Drop a 3 in the chat if you're ready to turn it up. If you're ready to shift to your 212 degrees. John Maxwell tells us the secret to your success lies in your daily agenda. What steps are you taking every day? And some of you all know, but some of you all don't know. I am all about you being a rested CEO. So even though you're turning it up to 212 degrees, for some of you all, that means turning up your delegation. For some of you all, that means building out your systems, because turning it up to 212 degrees, it doesn't mean that I want you to sleep 2 hours a day. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey, no chicken salad. I want you to get your rest. I want you to do your workout. I want you to have your time with God, have your time with your friends. I want you to travel and do all the things. But guess what? We can still build out the system that you can turn it up to 212 degrees and be boiling and be on fire and still accomplish these things. But nothing happens until you decide. I want you to declare this with me. I will win and I am winning. 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 Drop winning in the chat. I am winning. I finish what I start. I finish what I start. Come on, we're going to be integral. You wrote that goal down and maybe you didn't share it with a bunch of people, but I am here today. Let's be accountable. Let's be accountable. You don't have to be like, oh, well, I did write that down, but I'm a little far from it. You could be even close to it. We're still running through the tape. We are running through the tape. Okay? God is for you, and you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So the 212-degree mindset, that's your tool, because strategy without commitment is useless. Vision without commitment won't get you far. Goals without commitment aren't going to manifest and happen. You can have the best plan in the world and still lose if you never fully decide. So you have to decide that I'm turning it up. The difference between average and extraordinary is not often talent. The difference between average and extraordinary is commitment. It is who you're deciding to be in your identity, who you're around, and it's the daily habits and the daily steps. So a lot of people are a part of the many people that are average, and then you have the extraordinary few. The difference between average and extraordinary is not even intelligence. It's not always resources. It's not always the connections or one more degree. It's your level of commitment and discipline. Will you execute? Will you be consistent? So my encouragement to you today is don't just be interested. Don't just be curious. It's not just something that we write. I want you to be all in. All in. Committed people take action, whether they feel like it or not. Interested people just make promises. Committed people keep the promises and do everything they can to execute it. So how many dreams have died because the excitement wore off? How many goals have been abandoned because life got a little bit busy? How many people are praying for results, but you're no longer committed enough to produce the result? The problem isn't that you don't know enough. The problem isn't that you probably need another book. The problem isn't that you need another certification. It's not even another vision board. It's somewhere along the way that your commitment became negotiable. Winners don't negotiate with their dreams. They decide for their dreams. John Maxwell said, the secret of your success is determined by your daily agenda. Your daily agenda. So every day you wake up, you got to ask yourself this question: how committed am I? How committed am I? So I'm going to speak some affirmations today, and I'd love for you to repeat after me if it resonates with you. Number one is, I will win, and I am winning. I will win. I am winning. I win every day. I win every day. I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm all in. This is happening. I finish what I start. I finish what I start. I am committed. I am focused. I am disciplined. I am consistent. I have what it takes. I can do hard things. God is for me. God is with me. God is working through me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I expect great things. I believe big. My faith is stronger than it's ever been. I am going from faith to faith and glory to glory. I act boldly. My best days are ahead of me. I will not quit. I will not back down. I will not settle for less. I will finish strong. I will finish strong. And one final truth before we move on is, success is not only your reward, success is your responsibility. Success is not only your reward, success is your responsibility. There are people who are waiting on your obedience. You are an answer to a prayer. People are waiting on your example. People are waiting on your breakthrough. The dream that God placed on the inside of you was never just about you. So stop treating it like it's an option. Honor it, protect it, commit to it, and let's go all the way. 212 degrees. Turn up the heat all the way up, all the way up. Turn up the heat. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Number 4 is get accountability and support. Get accountability and support. Most people don't because they lack desire. They fail because they lack structure and accountability. Structure and accountability. There are only 2 ways that you can truly change the beliefs that you've been thinking that may have slowed down your success or haven't got you all the way to where you want to be. 1 is a powerful emotional impact, and 2 is a proper structure of support that provides repetitive repetition, space-time repetition of the new things that you are to believe to accomplish your goals and dreams. There's an African proverb says that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Jim Rohn and a lot of popular success books say you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Who are the 5 people that you want to spend the most time with for the rest of this year so you can manifest your goals like never before? What is your goal for the second half of the year? What are your goals? Look at them, look at your old goals, reassess. Maybe you've accomplished your goal. Maybe you got really close to your goal and you're ready to increase your goal. That's what I did. I said, oh my gosh, I'm almost at my goal for the end of the year. Let me double what my goal was going to be. Turn it up 212 degrees. You want to keep speaking your vision. Keep speaking life. Nobody wins championships alone. Nobody builds greatness alone. Support loves to be provided for you to be successful. So today we talked about finishing 2026 strong. We talked about recalculating. We talked about looking honestly at where you are. We talked about celebrating what's working, celebrating the steps you've taken thus far, and shifting to turn it up 212 degrees. And it's important that you also get the accountability required to finish strong. So what happens? What would happen if you left it all on the floor? What would the end of your year look like if you totally leaned in and committed? If you turn the heat up all the way, if you really leaned in and committed, what would it look like for you? Because it's time to turn it up 212 degrees. We are finishing with new levels of faith. We are finishing like never before because now is the time. Now is the time for your shift. Now is the time for what you've been thinking, what you've been asking for, and what you've been praying for. The time is not, you don't have to wait until next year, like, oh, I'll just wait and I'll just, restart next year. No, the time is right now. Because what we covered today, this is ignition for your fire. This is ignition in your vehicle. But some of you, you are requiring even more than that reset. Some of you are ready to have a clear out. And if you're not one of my Facebook friends yet, I want you to make sure you join me as a Facebook friend. If you're watching this on YouTube, I want you to click to like, to share. I want you to also click to subscribe to my channel on TikTok. I want you to subscribe and click and add me today. Turn on your notifications. All right. All right, here's what I know. After coaching a lot of high-level CEOs, founders, entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, people who have a dream and a vision, is that most people don't have an income problem. They have an abundance blockage. They have an abundance blockage. And here's what makes that so dangerous is that you could be doing a lot of things right, showing up, serving, posting, hustling. I don't want you to hustle though. And still not seeing your overflow. But you know you're capable. You know there's more for you. And you keep blaming your strategy and all these other things. But one of the things that I know is that that's what looks like blockage. It doesn't announce itself. It silently redirects what you're building. It's like a leak in a pipe. Water never stops running, but it's just not all your force and all the power that you're putting in doesn't seem like it's getting to the destination to create the results that you would love. Those are blockages. Next Tuesday at 12 noon. So yes, we'll be on it here at 7 a.m. next Tuesday for our live. But at noon next Tuesday, I'm hosting a power hour and I'm exposing the abundance blockers that are working against you right now. Whether you know them or not, a lot of people have no idea what abundance blockers are working against them and their money and their businesses and what you're doing. And that is exactly the problem, because what you don't know is often the thing that is hurting you. What you can't identify, you cannot fix. What you can't see, you cannot remove. And what you don't remove is what will keep costing you your energy, your time, your income, your peace, and your progress. Some of you have been praying for increase. You've been praying for rest. You've been praying for your next level, to be able to do it in an easier way. And what if the breakthrough isn't blocked by what you've been thinking it's blocked by? What if it's blocked by something in you that you just haven't seen, noticed, or been aware of yet? Good morning, Mitch. That's what next Tuesday's session at noon is all about. Seeing it, naming it, and shifting it. This power hour is for the person who's done wondering why it hasn't happened yet, who's ready to have another wind and support and push to get all the way to your 212 degrees and stay there, to maintain it, to complete your goals and literally blow your own mind. So if you're done with feeling like you're doing all the right things, but not seeing the level of overflow that you want, this session on next Tuesday at noon, this master class is for you. So here's what I want you to do. If you're on Facebook, you're going to DM me, Power Hour. If you're on Instagram, you are going to DM me, Power Hour. If you're on TikTok, you are going to DM me, Power Hour. If you are on YouTube, you are going to drop in the chat, Power Hour. This masterclass is next Tuesday, next week at 12 noon. Can you give yourself 1 hour of power. 1 hour to learn what abundance blockers are. We're going to talk about 4 out of about the 12 of them that could possibly be impeding the speed of your progress. So DM me. So the reason why I didn't say drop it in the chat, because a lot of times the chats could disappear or things like that. So I want you to DM me Power Hour, and then I'll make sure that you have the information to join us next Tuesday at 12 noon. I want you to come ready, and I want to see you there. The time is now. Let's turn it up. Let's maximize the momentum. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for joining me here at our new time of 7 a.m. We'll be here on live next Tuesday at 7 a.m. as well. I want to see your face in the place. All right. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me. Share this with somebody. Share this with somebody, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you all next week.